Welcome to the 5 at 5, West Ham 3, Arsenal 1. Yeah, not the best day at the office, and Arsenal's first chance at silverware this season is now over. We are dumped out the Carabao Cup and we turn our attention to bigger and better things. But I can't lie, I wanted to do something in this competition. Arsenal have not won this trophy enough in our history, and with Man City being knocked out in the previous round, I was hoping Arsenal could make a good fist of it. Anyway, let's get into the 5 at 5 from West Ham 3, Arsenal 1. Number 1, David Raya or Aaron Ramsdale? That is the question that seems to be on everyone's lips right now. And yesterday was an opportunity, obviously, for Aaron Ramsdale to come back into the team, impress the manager, pull off some good saves, keep a clean sheet, and make a claim for his place back in the starting lineup. But it didn't go to plan. You got a feel for him. You know, he obviously would have been very, very eager to do what I just said there. But Ben White scoring an own goal, meaning Arsenal have to sort of push forward and leave spaces at the back. I mean, yeah, it didn't go to plan for him at all. Then the second goal, Zinchenko with some awful defending. Never did he even get close to Mohamed Kudus's shadow, never mind the man himself. And then it was a very tidy finish, and we find ourselves 2 goals down. And then the third one, what can you do? Seemed to get a deflection. He should have done better, if I'm being honest, but it didn't go his way. When you look at the stats, 3 shots on target for West Ham, 3 goals conceded by Aaron Ramsdale. He did actually pull off 1 save, though, because clearly the shot on target, clearly the goal that West Ham scored, their first goal, wasn't a shot on target from them. It was an own goal from Ben White. And that was a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, but that was the highlight of his game. Just that 1 save. It really wasn't what he would have wanted to happen. Now you tell me, Newcastle away on Saturday, David Raya for me hasn't been that impressive. Aaron Ramsdale, he hasn't been that impressive either so far this season, though he's had limited opportunities. What was meant to happen was to get 2 first-choice goalkeepers and they increasingly raise the standards. What it seems like to me is happening, which is what I mentioned could happen many, many weeks ago, is that there's too much pressure on them and actually you see that nervousness creep into their game. Right now, neither of them are at the level that we want them to be at, but who would you pick for your number 1 Newcastle away on Saturday? Number 2, Arsenal's away form is generally very good. This is our worst away defeat all the way back from the 4-1 loss to Man City in April last year, when our season obviously went very pear-shaped towards the end of the season. Now, Arsenal actually have got a decent away record and we keep a lot of clean sheets away from home. So I'm not going to get too bogged down in this. A lot of changes into our starting 11 and also it being the Carabao Cup. I wonder how seriously this game was taken. I didn't see huge commitment levels that I typically see away from home where Arsenal really, really go out and earn the right to take 3 points, earn the right to take a victory away from a place. Didn't really see that yesterday. Perhaps it's the lineup, perhaps it was the competition, but I'm not going to panic because generally our away record is very, very good and hopefully Arsenal prove that yet again in the big game against Newcastle on Saturday. Number 3, this was the Declan Rice derby and I was really curious before the game to see how he would be treated by the West Ham fans. Now, it was interesting because before the game, David Moyes said, look, he is our captain. He was the person that lifted West Ham's first European trophy for 58 years. So he should be welcomed back with open arms. And we're all looking forward to seeing him again. He also said he was a brilliant member of the team, conducted himself impeccably as a West Ham captain. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Dec. I don't know if I really want him to play, but I really hope he's there. Now, obviously, David Moyes had good things to say about Declan Rice and hoped that he'd get a good response. Even Arteta sort of said something similar that he hopes will be treated to a good response. But the reality was very different. It was very, very mixed. At the start of the game, when his name was read out, there were a few boos. When he did warm-ups on the touchline, a few boos and then a few cheers coming after that. And when he actually got on the pitch, it was very, very mixed as well. Now, West Ham are doing very well this season. He did brilliantly for West Ham when he was there, and he didn't leave on a free to his rivals or anything like that. Big up Sol Campbell. What he did, he left for a really, really good transfer fee that has allowed West Ham to rebuild and really do quite well without him as well. So I was a bit disappointed for Declan Rice. Not that I think that will care too much, but West Ham fans, stay classy. Number 4, a Ben White shocker. Let's not lie about it. He had a really, really bad day at the office. One own goal. He had one headed clearance, and that headed clearance was what led to West Ham's third goal. It was into a central area of the pitch, right outside the penalty box. Ben White should have done a lot better with that. Bowen obviously slammed that one home. Not only that, Ben White had no tackles won, no ground duels won either. Just a really, really bad day at the office. But Ben White is a really consistent performer for Arsenal, and against Newcastle he's not going to have it easy. He'll have Anthony Gordon running at him, who's playing really, really well right now. But luckily for Ben White, the majority of Newcastle's threat seems to come down the right-hand side with Kieran Trippier and Miguel Almiron. So hopefully Ben White can get back to doing what he does best and being a solid, consistent performer for Arsenal, and you can just chalk this bad day at the office against West Ham as one of those things that just happens in football and can get back onto more consistent, better performances. Number 5, I feel like I'm doing this every week, another Havertz horror show. Look, I know it's a bit Halloween themed, but Havertz was really, really poor in this game, and he has been poor overall. There's no making any mistakes about the fact that right now, as it stands, he's been a huge, huge flop for Arsenal. In fact, when we look at it and we analyse his Premier League contribution overall, he's managed one shot on target in the Premier League from 7 attempts overall in terms of his shots. And that one shot on target, what was that? That was the charitable penalty that was given to him when we were 2-0 up against Bournemouth and dominating. Other than that, he hasn't even managed a shot on target. He has conceded more fouls than he's won fouls. He's picked up more yellow cards than he's had goal contributions. Only 25% of his passes in the league have gone forward. Of the 3 crosses he's attempted, none have been successful. Of all of the games he's started in, he's been substituted in half of them. I mean, this is a real, real horror show. And also, in his 15 games for Arsenal this season across all competitions, 1 goal, 1 assist. And come on, let's face it, this is really, really poor. You know, since that penalty that he was given against Bournemouth, it's been 5 weeks since then, and Arsenal have played 6 games. In that time, he's only had that 1 assist, and that was that little layoff to Gabriel Martinelli for the winner against Man City. I mean, what a brilliant assist to get, but it wasn't exactly all his own doing or an incredible assist. And if that's his only goal contribution output in the 5 weeks and the 6 games since he was given that penalty, and don't forget that penalty was designed, that was the reason why we gave him that. The design was to inspire a bit of confidence, to give him that hug from his teammates in the crowd. The fans were chanting his name that day with a new chant, and he just hasn't stepped up and delivered. For me, I think we need to be really, really honest that this is not looking like it's going to work. And a lot of people say to me, the reason why we signed Havertz is for his aerial ability. Well, look, let's analyse that. He's scored no headed goals. And in fact, overall, his aerial duels, he's only won 52% of them. Like, don't get me wrong, that's better than other players in our team, but it's hardly aerially dominant, is it? So for me, the Havertz experiment is not working. People are now starting to say that this is a Mikel Arteta vanity project. For me, he needs to come out of the team, and players who deserve it more need to go in. If we take him out of the radar, let him go under the radar for a while, and in fact, with Kai Havertz, maybe he can come back stronger. But do I trust him? Newcastle away in a game that we really, really would love to win? Absolutely not. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, let me know what your thoughts are on all 5 of the points in the comments below, especially the Raya Ramsdale battle and Kai Havertz as well. Free Palestine, as always. I'll see you next time after the Newcastle game. Take care.